Okay, fine under various projects there and so on. Well, winter is far from over. I think we're due for a couple more small rainy rainstorms, which is very good for Southern California, as long as there's no deluge involved, So looking forward to that. I thought there was somebody on frequency besides the usual out-of-state signal. So anybody else for the DrakeNet, KW6G and K6LGL, standing by.
W6YEC.
Whiskey Alpha 6, Juliet, Kilowatt, November. Good evening.
Well, there's two W6YEC and W6JKN. Hello, George, Cousin George, and Kevin, JKN. Kevin, you're stronger than George, at least in the first impression, but could be that just there was a bit of a down on George. So, and we have Charles in there already. So, George, over to you and then to Kevin, then turn it back, please, to Charles, our net control, K6LGL.
Yeah, okay, real good, Skip. Hello, Charles. Hello, Kevin. W6YEC. Well, I was on low power, so we've got a little bit more oomph behind it right now. So that should have brought us up a little bit, Skip. Yeah, I'm on the 7300 here tonight. I was sitting here messing around with it, so I thought, well, instead of getting up and turning on the Drake, I'll just use this. So my new radio, having fun with it. It's really been interesting getting to know the radio, and I pretty much got it down. And Kevin, as I mentioned to you, I did research on this PR40. When I found out it's the least sensitive microphone they have, and it's heavy on the bass side. So I went, instead of giving it bass, as you just do, I thought. Anyway, I took some bass out of it, and I raised the treble up, and it really made this mic much better, and I gave it drive. So I've got the drive set to about 70% on the gain there, which gives my ALC right up toward the top, but not going over. So, and it's allowed me to back off the microphone, be able to back off a little bit on it. If I want to back off a little more, then I can, of course, turn the gain up 100% if I want to. So that's how this microphone works, and made some comparisons with it, and everybody liked it so far. So that's what we've done, and same thing on AM. Ran some checks with it on AM. So still scratching my head over the ICOM software. What I did do, just for your information, is I moved the computer over here and plugged it in, the cabling from the radio into it, and the drivers are there, what have you. So at any rate, don't know yet what the hang-up is, but we'll get it resolved. All right, with that, let me give it over to you. See how you fared today. WA6JKN. Then I guess back to Charles when somebody pops in there. W6YEC.
Yeah, W6YEC. This is WA6JKN. Very good, George. Yeah, that's really been a struggle there for that getting those drivers and everything else working. Now, did I just hear you say you got the drivers? They finally showed up, or are they still disappearing, or are they still gone? I should say, because I'm doing some research to see what's behind that. So I haven't found any clear answers yet, but I'm still working on it. I've been working on it for, an hour or so. But, tell me if those drivers finally showed up. If they did, I'll stop looking to find a solution there. Anyway, I'm hearing everybody just fine. Hello, Charles and Skip. And now, George, the group is growing by the minute here. I'm using the Collins KW Sugar 1 tonight and the 75A4. I love these radios. They're a lot of fun. Okay, over to you, Charles. KW6G, WA6JKN.
I could, but...
some chatter in the background, probably some East Coasters leading in here. Anyway, good evening, Kevin. Good evening, George. It's KW6G.
I want to be able to...
Kevin, you're 20 over here, and George, you're 5 and 9 plus. Skip's about a 5-6 or so. And probably get better as the evening progresses. Like I was telling Skip, it's been raining here since about noon. I imagine it's raining where you are, Kevin, if you're at Gilroy. And it looks like you are. You're running the Gold Dust Twins this evening. Nice audio. And George, you got that audio dialed in on the 7300. It sounds really nice. So whatever you're doing it right. Anyway, we're on the Drake TR4CW RIT with the Drake RV4C remote VFO and the Shure 444 microphone and fed halfway. And that's about it. Nothing exciting going on today. And here at the QTH, we just taking a day relaxing, and I was up on 20 meters. No, pardon me, 15 meter. In the FT8 band listening around, and I heard it for the first time ever, an Andorra station. I've never heard an Andorra station on sideband or CW or radio teletype or anything else, but I heard they were calling an Angola station, FT8. I gave him a couple of calls, but he didn't come back to me, so maybe we'll try again tomorrow. He might be a creature of habit. Anyways, interesting. Andorra's a really small country in the Pyrenees between Spain and France. And it's practically the only European entity I've never worked or even heard before, so that was kind of new for me. Anyway, that's about it. Not much going on here. We're just waiting for the rain to really start in earnest. It's been raining pretty steady here. We got about a ½ inch so far, but it's supposed to come down in buckets tonight. It was 40-mile-an-hour winds. I don't hear the wind yet, but it's raining. It's raining out there, but it's not raining real hard. Anyway, we'll see what happens. That's all you can do, right? I'm going to give it back to Skip. See if he can catch any more earlies here. K6LG on the group. KW6G.
Okay, Charles, very good. KW6G, and the slowly growing group for the DrakeNet, K6LGL, Skip in Santa Monica by the Bay. Okay. All right. I find on the discovery of the various peculiarities of the 7300 George, he gets also probably the latest updates, the software and all this, and those are nice to have. And the PR40 is a little on the bassy side, so it sounds good. You got good sounding rig there, a pretty good balance. I wouldn't mind having about 1 or 2 dB of bass in there, but it's not necessary because your voice it sounds pretty natural. So you got a good combination there. So very fine of that, and the old KWS1 is doing a great job, and the Drake line for Charles. So very good. Let's see if anybody else is around. I think there's probably maybe Paul, maybe somewhere in the background, and Phil, and maybe you may hear N9AMI from remote. So anybody else for the DrakeNet? K6LGL with KW6G on net control, K6 little green light.
KW6G and W6LGL and 6WHK. Sorry about being late. I had my next door neighbor come over and brought his little 2-year-old over and armload full of Girl Scout cookies. So we were talking. Sorry about that. And 6WHK.
Well, welcome aboard, Phil. Very good. I thought there may have been another station in there. And, hey, you're never too late for any of our nets. Anybody else for the DrakeNet? K6LGL with KW6G. Okay. All right, let me just take a brief one there, and then I'll, we acknowledge Phil, and then we'll go back to our friend Net Control. Okay, sounds like things are moving in the right direction. Well, I have an SDR of a different manufacturer, and of course it has some VHF and UHF capabilities in there also, so that is kind of nice. And pretty nice AM with a variable passband, so AM sounds good, especially on the receive. So that works out. And of course you got the noise reduction circuits and all that sort of stuff. That's the nice thing about the SDRs. And you could shape your filters pretty well if you got the right software. Okay, let's go back to the top. I'll give it back to you, Charles, and then over to our friend George, YEC, and then Kevin, and then Phil. So, stand by. I have a feeling someone, maybe Paul, and maybe we might even hear from John there at 9 AMI from remote, possibly. So, KW6G and the Drake Group. Great to have all of you together. K6LGL.
Yeah, K6LGL and the group KW6G just had a pause there to see if anybody wanted to break in. I guess we're still a little early. I'm not really sure where we have set the official net time. I'm thinking most folks think it's 7:30. Although I showed up early this evening just because I was here. We may want to have a discussion this evening, or maybe a consensus to whether we want to push the start of the net back a ways next week, because I believe, I'm right about this, that daylight savings time starts Sunday morning. So we're going to be here an hour later next week, so it'll still be somewhat light. So we may want to think about pushing it back again to like 7:30, 8 o'clock. If you guys want to do that, it's okay. You want to stay where you're at, that's okay with me too. I don't have an email list for this group, which I probably ought to get one of these days, because it's a lot easier to communicate with everybody that way. But, we want to stay here. Well, maybe it would depend on how many people show up this evening. Maybe we'll want to stick around for another week at this time slot and then move, because it gives people a chance to get the word out, at least in that respect. I don't know. Why don't you guys each voice your opinion on what you think you want to do, and we'll go with that. We'll go with the consensus. Like I said, I'm totally flexible. Let's see. Good on the Girl Scout cookies, Phil. Don't worry about being late. Girl Scout cookies are important. I buy a case or a couple of cases every year. It seems like my wife has a lot of nieces and they have a lot of kids now, so we're buying from the second generation, and I don't have any problem eating those things, so it's very good for that. Anyways, let's go in this order. Let's go for round one here, guys. We'll get started here, and we'll let anybody break in and decide whether they want to join us or not, and we'll pick them up as they go along in the usual routine. We'll start out with Skip, K6LGL, and then Skip to pass it to George, and then George over to Kevin, and then Kevin over to Phil. But before we go with that, I'm going to start this first round with Phil and have him pass it over to Skip, because we haven't heard from Phil yet. So go ahead, Phil. You're 5 and 9 here in the Bay Area. M6 WHK. This is KW6G. Go ahead.
KW6G, M6 WHK. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I enjoy getting in here. Every so often there's things come up. As far as time for the upcoming weeks, until we change time again after that, whatever goes with the consensus, I'm very happy with. I'm a bachelor. I don't have anybody to obey since my boss lady passed away. So I can go with anything we do. Anyway, with that, over to Skip, K6LGL and 6WHK.
Okay, Phil. Yeah, I know what you mean. Once you're by yourself, then those decisions are left strictly in your hands. And 6WHK and the Drake Group, K6LGL. You're very strong there, and so is George when you turn on the amplifier. And so Kevin is doing quite well, too. I'm surprised we haven't heard from Paul, but maybe he's got some electrostatic discharge problems there. That may be one thing, but he may still show up. We'll see what happens. And John was surprised to hear from him at 9 AMI. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale briefly checked into the other net the other day, so you never know. Very, very good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. George, you probably got a good price on the 7300. An awful lot of them out there. It's probably the most popular transceiver of the 21st century. Compared to the old, what do you call, X90, what was that? I forget. The old band versions there. Finally ended up with the Mark IIG. And then they went to the IC7000. Okay. So, over to you, I guess, George. And sort of looking forward to hearing more about your adventures with the 7300. There's something to be said for a wide-ranging SDR transceiver. It can outdo most of the classic AM, analog types, because you could configure the filters, you can configure the frequency response fully and all that. The software driven, you get an awful lot, and especially noise reduction. That's something that analog is hard to remove. So over to you. W6YEC and the Drake Group. Take another standby if somebody else wants to join us. K6 on the green light.
Well, there's Jay. Go ahead and take it, Jay, and say hi to everybody and give it back to me, and then we'll get you there after Phil, okay?
Now with the 101D, all it takes is one step to change bands. You got to do 2 or maybe 3 steps.
Beautiful day here today. I guess it's supposed to rain tonight. But boy, it sure is beautiful today, George. Back to you.
Okay, Jay, thanks for coming on board here tonight. W6YEC. Very good, very good, very good. Good copy. Well, hello to Phil, too, by the way. I've been looking for you today, and you've been scarce. So, wonder what you've been doing. Anyway, guess what, Kevin? I fixed it. Well, I haven't got the, let's see. I haven't got the remote up yet. And probably once I change the settings in the ICOM and then turn it off, turn it back on, maybe I'll have it. But I got the I did get the utility to connect. Here's the deal. I got thinking about it. Oh, by the way, to answer your first question, what I did is I brought the computer over here where the radio is, and I plugged in the radio directly to the remote computer, and then I went to the device manager to see if those drivers were there, and they were. They weren't there because the radio hadn't connected yet. they're there, and so that's what I thought. So they're hiding, and they're not going to come to life until actually we get it working. So anyway, so that's what happened on that. That was the first thing. Second thing is I got thinking about something, and so I went into my my router, which I have on my telephone, and I went and looked at the computers, and I noticed that one of the computers had a different it had a different address, and so I think what was going on, I had set it up just like I had the ICOM for WIM set up, assuming the whole thing would work. With that turned off, it worked. Well, the problem was this computer, the gateway that I'm using as the server, it has a different IP address. Everything's the same except at the end. It's .119. So I said, well, let's put that in there and see what happens. I did, and it connected. Oh, man, on the utility. So now, when I bring and on the excuse me, the remote control software, it now has COM3. It's showing COM3, which is the COM that we're using here. So I'm going to change it over to USB because it's all USB, and then turn the radio off, turn it back on, reset it, and see if the the remote control doesn't work. But we've made some real progress. I really, really appreciate the time you invested, and made us scratch our heads. And then I ran into another problem today. Talk about an adventure. Cox was out working on the line, and so I lost the internet. Then it came back on. Then it was gone again. They were working up and down the street. So finally it came back on, and in the process of fooling around here, I went ahead and updated the firmware in the router, and because it was ready to be updated. Well, all of a sudden, when I go back to the computer, start working on it, I've got this message about the DNS. And I thought, oh no, what do I do now? And so it turned out that in my messing around, well, I don't know why the message came up. It had something to do with the firmware, upgrading. But in my messing around, trying to experiment, I put it into public rather than private. So that wasn't helping any. So I got it into private, and then everything started working. Because I was having a problem with the other software, and I thought, oh, what did I do? Anyway, everything, got that working beautiful. I had it on 10 meters. It's working fine, just wonderful. And so there you are, just a combination of things. And so Skip, there you go. That's been part of the journey. Somebody gave me the software for ICOM, and so I installed it, and I thought, well, if I can get that working, and I'll put it on my new computer, the one I'm trying to, the older computer I'll just have as a backup. But when I get it on the new computer, I decided to put the ICOM software on there. It doesn't have any remote software on it. So that has been very, very time-consuming. That's the frustrating part. Took away from other things that I should have been doing. Especially before the rain comes, I needed to be out there cutting the grass and cleaning up some things. So maybe I can get a little bit done tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure when the rain's coming. All right, enough from me. Let's give it over to Kevin, then to Phil, and then to Jay. WA6JKS, W6YEC.
Well, it's sounds like you're going to be my IT person, George. My personal IP connection. I got your phone number. I got your text message ID, and I got, I got your email. So look out, my friend. You are becoming the expert on this stuff now. That's great. It's all good news, isn't it? It is. It's very time consuming, and to get all the bits and bytes to line up can be very frustrating at times. But I learned, when I started this journey myself almost 4 years ago, you just have to keep at it, walk away from it, and try it again, and then, and eventually it all starts coming together. Now, what's going to happen, George, in the next several weeks, you're going to start understanding this. Now, isn't that a scary thought? Yeah. And then when you reach the point where you think you got all the answers, something changes, and then you start all over again. Yeah, I'm laughing, I'm emotional, and I'm happy. That's the emotion part for you, George, because I know we were working on that to the late. Was it last night? Heck, I don't even remember. But that was really something. Anyway, fine business on the survey, Charles. I'm good with moving it up or down on time. I'm like Phil. I'm retired, and I think it's really, let's let the propagation drive this thing. If the propagation's working right now, let's keep it until we start having issues, and then we move it. Or if we know based on historical or corporate knowledge to go ahead and move it now because it is changing, and then I say, okay, let's go ahead and do it now. Now that's not a definitive answer, really. Maybe it is. Let's let the propagation performance drive the decision. I guess that's what I'm saying. All right, over to you, Phil. Good to hear from you. I'm kind of glad and sad at the same time that you don't have anybody there to boss you around. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have someone here bossing me around. Yeah, I'd be pretty darn lonely, I would guess. But you seem to be handling it really well. You're a benchmark for being a survivor in more ways than once. I'm really happy to see the progress you're making there and sharing all of your historical stories about what is that? Last week we were talking about using your metal detectors and stuff like that. I forget what net it was, but the boxes upon boxes of treasures that you have found over the many years. That's really something there, Phil. Well, anyway, over to you. Let's see if I can get the call right here, because I'm doing it all by memory, and I have not yet written anything down here. So I know it's WHK. And I'm just going to take a guess, and if I mess it up, my apologies. N6WHK and the group WA6JKN.
Yes. I don't see anything on the one on the right that tells me how far.
I thought I heard somebody trying to check in. WA6JKN is, you got it right, in Nancy 6 Whiskey Hotel Kilo. If you're German or speak German, there's another way of saying it, but I won't say it on the air because people over here might take offense. So there you go on that one. Anyway, my next door neighbor came over. I didn't order any of the Girl Scout cookies, but he said his wife deals with a Girl Scout troop, so he brought me a couple boxes over, and we talked for a little bit. He's got a little daughter over there. She's about maybe 2 years old now. This is cute as a bug on a rug. I mean, a cute little thing. And she, I had two dogs. One passed away. One was named Bella. and Bella would bark at her all the time when she was, and you'd hear her over there at her house on the other side of the fence telling Bella, be quiet, no barking. So, but like I say, she's really a cute little thing. Anyway, so I was late getting in here, and I'm happy to get back in. It was fun visiting and all that. I'm going to get Pat eating these cookies. So I'm going to have 2 tonight, maybe 2 tomorrow, and that'll be it. I'm trying to watch my weight a little bit. And anywho, like I said, we're on the Swan, 350 Delta, running through the Maritron, putting out about 400 watts, I guess, in that area. Yeah, it's looking like it's on that scale about 400 watts. So I'm happy with that. Of course, I'm running the coaxial antenna, and George helped me build, or actually he done most of the work. And I'm very happy with the antenna. Very, very quiet. I don't hear a lot of noise on it. I don't hear the solar panels or anything. Just good audio, and it seems to work very, very well. Anyway, with that, let me turn it on over. WB6MWL. So all yours, my friend, N6WHK.
Okay, Phil, very good. N6WHK, WB6MWL. Yeah, good signal, Phil. You're about 20 over here at Montclair, so good copy. I got the amplifier on now. I got the L7 on the low power position here, so it's putting out about 400 or 500 watts, I guess. Probably get a little more, but I don't think need it tonight. The band seems pretty good. Charles, you were pretty strong. You're 10 over or more here, so the band seemed pretty good. And Kevin, you were good copy too. So I didn't catch what you were running, Kevin, but sounds good. And I guess George, you're on the 7300, I think. There, so it sounds good too. So I guess I'm the end of the line here, so I guess I turn it back to Charles. I wonder if you're getting any rain up there yet. KW6G, WB6MWL.
Yeah, WB6MWO. KW6G. Yeah, we're getting rain up here. We got 0.56 inches so far. I'm looking right here at the screen on my weather station. So, and it's been coming down the last few minutes, so we're supposed to get very heavy rain early in the morning, about midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. That's what the radar's saying, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, yeah, good, Jake. You're 5 and 9 here now, Jake. Turn the amp on, it really helps. Very nice signal. Still 5 and 9. Kevin was 20 over. George came up to 10 over S9, and Skip, I think last I heard he was still 5.6, 5.7, but good copy. So the band's in great shape this evening. It seems to get better a little after, when net starts. So maybe we'll keep it at 7:30. I think that's the official time now anyway. For another few weeks, and we'll see what happens. Towards the summer, we may want to move it back to 8 o'clock so we get into the evening hours a little bit. So we'll just play it by ear. I think Kevin was right. Let the propagation govern it. That's with my other nets. That's what we're doing. So, except for the coffee bug net on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. It's always at 9 a.m. But I don't think that makes a whole lot of difference at that time. Anyways, yeah. George, anything on the computer is time consuming, George. Oh man, I played with stuff on the computer for hours and hours and hours and never got anywhere. So you're absolutely right, and Kevin is absolutely right too. They change a little something and then you're back to square one. Who knows? Yeah, it's not like the old days, that's for sure. Anyways, let me take this opportunity to ask and see if there's anyone else who wants to check into the Drake West Coast net. This is KW6G. Come now, please. Not hearing anyone. Let's go for round two. We'll start off with Skip and then go to George, and then to Kevin, and then to Phil, and then to Jay, and then back to me. So go ahead, Skip. K6LGL to go. KW60. Go ahead.
I should fall out of that, should I?
Okay, thank you, Charles. Hang on a minute. My little gas. Touch the dial accidentally there. Back on 5-0, maybe even about 100 cycles off. K6LGL, Skip in Santa Monica. Well, fine. Well, I think you'll enjoy that 7300. My favorite, I think, is still the top of the line, and that is the Yasu DFTU, the 101 200 water. That's probably got the best signal-to-noise ratio and some other features there. But you certainly can't ignore ICOM. ICOM is in there. And I'm anxious to hear, I don't know who ordered the Electraf K4. I think the Electraf people did quite a bit to improve the digital capability of that piece of equipment too, so it'd be interesting to see. I think, Kevin, you said you were interested in the K4. I'm not sure. I'm interested, but I'm not going to bother. I really have no justification to have one. Okay, welcome aboard, Jay. There, nice signal. The old TR7 sounding good, and you're nice and strong in here. No problem whatsoever. I'm just surprised what happened to Paul. Could be that he's got problems with electrostatic discharge there, so maybe he just shut down his antennas there. So, yeah, there's a massive amount of clouds moving east-southeast here, so somebody's going to get some moisture. I don't think we are immediately, but the flow is in those directions. So, over back to you there, George, and sounds like you're having a good time with the 7300. There's all kinds of capability there, and of course, software can correct many things. I don't know how long the ICOM will support the 7300 because, you know, they're pushing their other versions there too. The 7610 and another one is out there, and of course, eventually they'll build an amplifier for it. But I suspect they're having problems with parts, like you said earlier, Kevin. There. So, over to you there, Cousin George. W6YEC. And I guess we'll finish this round and then see. And see if somebody else may discover us. Oh, quick comments regarding the time. I'm kind of like Kevin. Based on propagation, 7 o'clock currently is not a bad time for all the nets to start. So I would leave it alone, of course. Logically, you know, we could probably move it to 8 o'clock, which is 1 hour earlier or later, whatever you want to use. We're going to do that, but I would keep it to the same time. But that's my suggestion. Over to you there, George. W6YEC, K6LGL.
Okay, Skip, and everybody else, W6YEC, right back. Good signals, nice copy tonight here. Small net, but very, very nice. Yeah, interesting discussion around the 7300. It is an interesting radio. One of the reasons I picked it up, and yeah, Skip, I got an okay price on it, and I didn't need it, had the 7600, but the 7600 was giving me a little problem that I was nervous about on remoting, because every once in a while it'll lock up on me, CPU, and not very often. I mean, I got it really down with a lot of RF chokes and all that, but it's, and others have had the problem, so my AFC is going about 70. You know, it was preventing me from really pushing too far forward on the remoting, and so that was one thought. And the other thought was I wanted to get used to the radio because all my friends have them. And I find myself from time to time helping them out on some things, but I didn't really know the radio. So that has really helped me to get familiar with this radio. And then Paul wanted my 7600, so he bought it. So I ended up being able to pay for the radio and have a little extra money left over. So how about that? Anyway, he says if I want to buy it, I could just buy it back from him. But I'm gonna get used to it. It's a smaller radio that I like. I like a larger radio, but I'm getting used to it. And this software has been a real learning thing. Okay, Kevin, here's where we're at. It's connected on the utility, no problem there. So we got that squared away. But I haven't been able to connect on the control. It's still not finding the port. So when I go to set it up, I should be able to go in there and locate the driver, whatever port it's assigned to. And on the other computer where I'm using on Windows 10, where I'm using the icon for Win, when I go in there, then I have the icon driver, and then I have that silicon driver. The icon driver doesn't work. I couldn't get it working with that. And I remember when I got this Win thing, I researched it, and they suggested the silicon. Well, that got downloaded, so I've got the silicon on this new computer here, and that's the one that I should be in there and have a port assigned to it, like it does on my Windows 10. Unless Windows 11 does it different, but it doesn't. It doesn't have that. So the utility connected, because we're not dealing with a port. We are dealing with that port for the information, but we're dealing with the IP address. So that's why that's connected. So now we're down to resolving the problem of why, still back to these drivers, why I'm not finding the port. I should be able to set it up, go into the not the utility, but the remote, set it up and find the port. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to just get rid of it, and then I'm going to start over. I'm going to reset it up. Now that we have the drivers on there, I'm going to redo that one and see if I can somehow, when I'm setting it up, find the port that it's going to connect to. So that's what's stopping it, is the port. Anyway, that's the story. Hope you guys aren't too bored talking about this. It's wearing me out. I'm just about ready to give up because I got so many other things going on. I got to get ready for this scuba trip, and I got a wedding on Saturday, and we've got this 40 Days of Hope for California going, and we're doing 10 stadium events in the different major cities of California. Our focus is here in San Diego is at Balboa Stadium, which used to be the Chargers Stadium back in the 60s. Belongs to San Diego High School now. They redid it. It's beautiful, downtown San Diego. So we rented that for April 1st and bringing all kinds of churches together. We're going to do a festival. We're going to have an auto show, bands, music, sports figures, just to attract people. And then it's just an outreach to the city. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. All right, that's it. Let me keep it moving here. Back to you there, Kevin. WA6J. Oh, and thank you for going through the work on the manual. I did print one out. I had one printed out, and I've got it in a 3-ring binder, and I have been, mauling through it too. Plowing through it. Oh man, WA6JKN, W6YEC.
Okay, George. I'll start doing some research on that COM port issue from the laptop and see if I can come up with anything that we haven't already discussed, So I'll see what I can find. But I think your plan of action is a good one. Just go ahead now that you got the Silicon Lab drivers working and you're able to connect on the utility side. That's over half the battle right there. You got the server set up, connected to the radio, so that's half the battle. So now get that laptop over the Wi-Fi to connect using the what do they call that thing? The remote control application. So yeah, just reset that part up and see what comes out of it, and I'll continue to do some research. Oh, I forgot to mention congratulations on getting that PR40 configured for the ICOM 7300. I ran across some what would you call it? Notes or application notes or on the PR40. I saw this thing. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. It said what radios it works on and what radios it's not compatible with. And the 7300 on up, it's not compatible. But it says people have done what you said. Turn your mic gain up to 75% or setting it high and playing around with your EQ in the menu. So from what I'm hearing, it sounds okay. It sounds okay, George. Congratulations for coming up with something that sounded a lot better than being muffled. What we heard the other night, I forget when that was, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm glad that worked. Yeah, at least something's working, right? We're gonna, you got to take credit for where things are working, and hopefully we'll get this connectivity issue resolved for operating remote. Boy, that's really something. That's 7300. I found a video, Captain, I can't remember his name, Captain something or another. He has a video on how to set up RSBA1 version 2 to a 7300, and he's got like an hour and 24 minutes of video, and he was going through the same exact thing you were, and I go, man, I ought to send this to George. And I said, well, that would be kind of like insult to injury, but so then he eventually came back with another video and said he solved it, and what he did was he unloaded the drivers or something and reinstalled them, and then once he got everything installed, he turned off the radio and turned it back on, then tried to connect. So by turning off the radio and leaving it off for a little bit of time, it worked some kind of magic with the bits and bytes, and then he turned it back on, and then he was able to get the audio. Remember when you couldn't hear the audio and all that? Well, he was having that problem too. But there wasn't one thing that was definitive that I could pull out of that and send to you. So it was kind of like it was kind of helpful, but yet he was doing the same thing. Trying 20 things to solve one problem, and then another problem comes up and you try 20 more things and you kind of resolve it, but then the first thing stops working. So it was really hard to watch this guy struggle, just like we were this past couple of days. All right, enough of talking about computers. I may, if I keep talking about this, I'm going to have to go find some Tylenol. Oh, by the way, before I turn it over to you, Phil, that is great to have young neighbors like that, and the little cute. I haven't heard that term in a long time. As cute as a bug in a rug. Wow, I haven't heard that in a long time. And telling your dog to be quiet, stop barking, and all that. That is really something. Yeah. Yep, I mean, there she is. She's taking control. Yeah, she's going to be a great boss one day, bossing someone around. There's no doubt about it. Let's see, what else? Skip, good signal. Tonight, the rig's sounding great. Everybody's sounding great. Jay, likewise, very, very good tonight. And there was one other thing I wanted to mention, and it's escaped me already. Oh, I know what it was. Phil, before you pick it up, leave a pause in there, a little extra pause, because I want to see if John is trying to check in from back east. I know he's operating remote. I don't know if he's listening tonight, but let's keep it. Let's do a little pause for the cause and see if we can encourage John to jump in here tonight. At least make one transmission. So over to you, Phil. N6WHK. This is WA6JKN.
Well, not hearing anything. WA6JKN and 6WHK. Yeah, I wish I didn't hear John last night, but he said he was in there, but that don't mean anything. There's a couple stations I didn't hear. There's one I don't hear quite often, up there in near in Nevada, up I can't think of it. I got brain fade. Where they gamble at world's largest little city. Anyway, I don't hear that person when they check in for some reason. I've only heard him one time, I think. Yeah, I run a 7300 here. I like the rig. It seems to do everything I want it to do. We had it set up for FT8 for a while, and I really didn't enjoy running FT8 on it. I had to change too many things every time, and I'll never set mine up for remote. I've been listening to what George has been doing with his, and he's pulling his hair out, and I don't want to pull mine. So I'm happy with the rig the way it is. I used it this morning and worked a couple DX stations on 10 meters. I haven't got off of 10 meters in the last 2 weeks, I guess. And I've been working some good stations and having a good time. One guy got on, it wasn't a contact, and we got on, we talked for a little bit. He was asking questions about here, and he was explaining things about where he's at in Ireland, so that was a fun contact. And we're going to hopefully meet up again. Anyway, that's about all I've been doing with my 7300 is using it for working DX or working local continental United States. And I got on, like I say, this morning. And George, I've been busy all day. I've been doing some researching a couple devices. Phil, WA6FFT, and I are going to build a project. He's going to build one, I'm going to build one, and see whose project works the best. And I sent him three emails today on the project that we're working, and some schematics. Because he was looking for a little amplifier he could put on it. And what it is actually, of all the things that I used to build when I was in high school, a crystal set. So we're both going to build crystal sets and see who can make the one that works the best. I don't know how I got involved with this, but it sounded like fun. I've got a couple of diodes, which is the right value and everything, 34s, so we're going to see what happens. A little contest between the two of us. And with that, let's turn it over to WA6, no.
Real bad.
Yeah, I'm confused now. N6WHK, turning it over to WB6MWL. I'll get it right. I'm thinking I'm supposed to turn it back to you, Kevin, but I wasn't. So there you go. Over to you, Jay. N6WHK.
Okay, Phil, very good. N6WHK and the Drake Group, WB6MWL. Yeah, very good. Everybody's signal's holding up good. I do hear a little bit of East Coast people in there, but they're not very strong tonight compared to sometimes. So, yeah, I know they've sold a passel of those 7300s. Seems like every time I turn on the rig, somebody's on with one of those. I guess it's a pretty reasonable price rig and for what you get, so that's probably why. But anyway, I got enough radios. I don't need anything else here. In fact, I probably got too many. Most of my stuff is all finished.
Now, I mean, it can get bad to where I can't get the noise out of it.
1982.
But right now, we're being lucky, I guess.
Anyway,
I'm
going to make this my final here. I got a phone call at 8 o'clock, so good to everybody. I'll listen through here, and probably catch up with, well, if something comes up, I'll be on Saturday night, I think. And, yeah, I did, I thought maybe Paul would be in here too, but he may be tied up with something there. So I'll turn it back to you, and, I was going to comment on the time. Yeah, either, I kind of like this time, 7. But I'd vote for 7. We'll just try and see how it goes, even though it's light. And if they want to move it later, then so be it. Anyway,
yeah, I can use the attenuation and
you're
all
washed away up
that
there, Charles.
pretty effectively.
And I don't know how much rain they were expecting there, but I got from what they, of course, the weathermen always seem to make it dramatic, but they were saying 4 inches, but I don't know if that's going to be true there in Clayton.
Yeah.
So over to you, Charles. And 73, KW6G, WB6MWL.
Yeah, 73 is JWB6MWL, KW6G. It's getting about that time. We've been here for about an hour, so we'll go for one final round, the 73 round. We keep it the way it's going right now. Let's just keep it status quo. As far as the time goes, we'll be here at 7 or shortly thereafter, and we'll take it as it comes. If it gets to be too much of a challenge, we'll move it back to 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we got a lot of time to do that. It's not going to be that big a deal. But signals do tend to be stronger during the latter part of the net, so we'll see how it goes. We do have a good sunspot cycle now, so it's really turned out to be amazing.
I don't know how much faith anybody puts in him, but
so the solar flux index is on our side, that's for sure. Anyway, let's go one more round, and I'll close it off at the end of this round. We'll start off with Skip. We'll go to George, Kevin, and Phil, and Jay is signed out. So Phil, if you can send it back my way, that would be okay. Anyways, go ahead, Skip. K6LK on the group, KW6.
K6LK.
this one here,
K6LGL, copy, it's KW6G.
Okay, I took a bit of a phase. That's why I wasn't sure you turned it over to me there, Charles. Thank you. You're back again now, solid copy. K6LGL, thank you. Hey, interesting. Yeah, the 7300s. The only one that in the last part of the 20th century that they sold more of, or probably equal amount, was the 706. The various configurations ending with the Mark IIG. So the 7300 is a moneymaker for the company. Not the 7610 and others aren't, but it's the volume that produced, and this came before the whole COVID thing developed and the shortages and so on. So it just came at the right time. And I suspect that the price of that will probably be reasonable in the used market.
Go ahead and tell us.
If they're not abused, it'll be an interesting piece of equipment to own. Yeah, it's a small radio, but let's face it, most of the SDRs are fairly small, with the exception of the top of the line. You know, those are hot. Now, but my question is, has anybody tried out the K4 from our friends there in Monterey Bay? The K4 Electrocraft, I think also.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see it. There isn't too much available in terms of review.
You know, see them on scope or hear them bleeding or something, and I'll go there and
We're not going to be left far behind. There's also indirectly competing, with the people in Texas there.
I do the same thing. Trial and error, man. Go somewhere with somebody talking and
it'll be interesting to see.
testing out that stuff, see how it works.
And George, looks like you have a full palette with all kinds of activities. Good luck to you. I hope everything goes well. We have a problem. Generational problems. So many people seem to be distracted and not knowing, what we go about. Perhaps pointing them into a given direction may be part of the answer. Of course, there's sometimes more than one answer. So, over to you. And I don't know whether, I think I'll make this my final.
You talk about 17 and
my 73 around, I have a few things to do. It's starting a little cool here in the shack. So, but I will listen out there and play around. And look forward to catching some of you there on Saturday on the flying group. And the important thing is that, you're healthy and doing things.
I'm on a FTDX 5000 diesel.
W6YEC, and thanks for running the net there.
Yeah, the old technology.
K6 little green light, Santa Monica by the Bay.
K6LK.
Yeah, K6LK. Go ahead, Bill, and give it back to me if you would. W6YEC.
Yeah, okay, thanks, George. I had the tuner turned off here, so that's the reason why you didn't hear me the first time around. But just wanted to say hello to the group there, and Skip, I'll be trying to get things going there for Saturday. If this old Swan 175 doesn't make smoke, then you'll be hearing me. So anyway, over there to you, George, and good hearing you in there, and that 7300's doing a nice job for you. So W6YEC to take it, K6LK.
Okay, Bill. Good to hear you in there on the tail end. Thanks for checking in, W6YEC. Okay, everybody. Very good evening to one and all. Kevin, I'm looking at different things. One thing, and I don't know what it, I think the default is EO, but that CIV address that relates to the software itself on the remote control, and I haven't seen anything that tells me to change that or shit that. They have all kinds of addresses in there, but I guess the default is EO. So if you know anything about that, you might make comment on it. But again, we're just still having. When I go in there, I just haven't been able to find a port to put in there, and so that's got to be where our hang up is. All right, Somebody treats everybody. We'll talk to you all later. Have a good evening. Sleep well. Good rest. Back to you there, Kevin. WA6JKN, W6YEC.
Charlie, what made you go with the 710 over the...
Sure. Wait a minute, I see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, W6YEC, and hello to Bill. I'm glad you made it in. Good to hear you tonight, for sure. Good signal, too, by the way. George, to confirm, EO is the default for the 7300, and just make sure that that's what your 7300 current setting is, that the previous owner has changed it to something else. then you may have to go in there and put it back or change your remote software to point to the right CIV address. Without that, you might as well hang it up. Nothing's going to work. But I suspect that it is correct because you initially connected after setting EO, so that kind of tells me that it's already been confirmed. But I'll leave that up to you. If you need instructions on how to find it in your radio, I'll send you a video on how to do that. All right. Also, I sent you another video just a few minutes ago that shows you how to resolve your COM port, not finding your COM port on your laptop there. So watch that video. What's this called? W6FCC has a very nice video he puts together and shows you and explains what you have to do in order to see that COM port. And just to summarize, you got to have the server up and running and connected first before you can attempt to, and you got to leave it up and running. Okay, it's got to be left up and running at all times if you're going to be operating remote. Then go to your remote computer and try to connect, and only then will you be able to see the COM port. That's the one thing we didn't do to make sure. I just assume you knew that, but maybe you do. So anyway, something a little different in our discussions might be helpful. Let's see, anything else? Nope, that's about it. So 73, good to hear everybody tonight. What a great group. And I'm going to get out there and get that SWAN problem I was having with the 300 or 350, whatever it is, and get that back in the shack here so I can have that ready for Saturday night. The only Drake equipment I have is the receiver, so that's I also have that out on the workbench. All right, 73, and over to you, Phil. N6WHK and the group WA6JKN. Good night.
WA6JKN N6WHK. Well, good evening to everybody that's checking out, and I'll be following suit here right along. I'm enjoying this talk about the 7300 because I know I like mine very well for what I use it for. I don't use it for digital or remoting. I'd have a heck of a lot to learn about that. So I'm happy with it the way it is. And I like the little radio. I've had a couple other radios, but I enjoy that one immensely. I like some of the processing of it and the way it does. It really works well so far. I've had one problem with it, switch. My off and on switch and would not work. I sent it up to ICOM. They sent it back to me, no charge, and they replaced the switch and done a little bit of other work to it, and they didn't charge me anything. I can't ask for much more than that. So with that, I'm going to turn it on over and call it an evening. K6LK and 6WHK. Go ahead and pick it up. 7-3, gentlemen.
Radio of all times is the Kenwood TS-820S.
IAQ must have checked out. K6LK is KW6T. Is still there, Bill?
Yeah, I'm still here, Charles.
Yeah, go ahead and take one final.
Okay, yeah, I just say 73 is the group here, and I don't know what kind of problems Kevin's having. If he wants to talk about that 350, I'll be hanging in, but 73 is to everybody. K6LK over there to you, Charles.
Yeah, K6LK, KW6T. 10 over here this evening, by the way, Bill. Nice signal. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for their continued interest and participation. It's always appreciated, and we'll say 73s at this time for another week. And close this session of the Drake West Coast Net at 0:03 according to my clock. Anyways, you guys take care. Stay 73 day weather. Have a good weekend. Stay safe and dry. And hope nobody gets washed away. That's for sure. It's going to be interesting. Anyways, you guys take care, and we'll see you next week here at 7 o'clock. I'll be here about 7. And, we'll get things going in that order, and then we'll see how things proceed. Anyways, take care, everybody. 73, and thanks for your input. This is KW6G closing the net, returning the frequency to normal amateur use. And we're going to be QRT, gentlemen. Good evening.
Good night.